Are you thinking of booking a Marella cruise but wondering what the ship is like? Well, we took a cruise on Marella Discovery 2 in January 2024 and spent 2 weeks discovering its decks. In this film, we'll give you a tour of the ship along with some hints and tips to hopefully make your stay more enjoyable. Stay watching for hints on how to get served at busy bars, where the best place is to get a sunbed, and where to go if you want a party atmosphere or a secluded little hideaway. Marella Discovery 2 is 29 years old and last had a refit in 2017. She holds 1,836 passengers and 771 crew with 918 cabins. With 11 decks, she has 8 restaurants, 7 bars, 2 pools and 9 lifts. This is the 9th cruise ship we have travelled on. We've been on smaller and larger ships, but we have to say she's a lovely size as all the venues are easily accessible, and even though she was sailing at full capacity, we never felt overwhelmed by crowds of people. Let's start at the top on deck 11. This is where the specialty restaurants are: Surf and Turf, Corral and the Sushi Bar. If you wish to eat in these restaurants, you need to pay a supplement. You can book before you arrive or when on board. We did see people eating in them and the surroundings look lovely. Tables were well spaced with lovely views. Within this section is bar 11. This was one of our favourite bars for a pre-dinner drink or a tipple before bed. A relaxed atmosphere with some very unusual premium cocktails on offer, which we tried but didn't particularly enjoy.
Smells smoky. Oh, that's disgusting.
The seats are comfortable with great views. We did always manage to get a seat in here, but the busiest time was usually between 9:30 and 11 p.m. Now we go to deck 10. This is where you'll find the jogging track if you're up for it, but if not, it's pleasant for a walk around and for people watching. If you're travelling with children, this is where the kids clubs are. Our cruise was for adults, so this area wasn't used. The deck bar is here and plenty of places to sunbathe or read your book. At the rear of the deck is the mini golf area that was very quiet early in the morning or later in the afternoon. Clubs and balls are accessible from this area, so it's easy to get involved. The climbing wall is also here, but is only open at certain times during the day, normally for a couple of hours. Deck 9 is the main outside deck that people seem attracted to. This was the busiest outside area. At the front is Island's Buffet restaurant with fabulous views, spacious seating and a good layout for a buffet. Even at peak times it never felt too busy, unlike some buffets we've encountered on other ships. We always found a table and the service in here was excellent. It was open for breakfast, lunch, afternoon tea and dinner, but not late night snacks. You can always get yourself a hot drink, glass of water, soda, wine or beer from here during the day and evening. If the queues at the deck bar were busy, we just grabbed a drink from here. Outside Islands is the deck bar and main pool. A lot of entertainment goes on here, day and night. It's the place to be if you like to party and enjoy crowds and mingling with your fellow passengers. Heading towards the aft of the ship, you will find Snack Shack, a place to grab a quick bite to eat during the daytime with booths to sit and relax in. Through the doors you enter the glass house. The indoor pool is in this area with a bar, lovely lounges and luscious lunches. Even though it's enclosed in glass, it never felt too hot in here. Beyond this, you have the spa and beauty salon, which we never used, but the treatments are well advertised. The gym is also located here with a good variety of equipment and a small space for floor exercise. We used it a few times and always managed to get on the machines we wanted. At the back of the gym is the veranda. This felt like quite an exclusive area with some very nice pods and lounges. It's only small, but very quiet. If you want serenity, try getting a space out here. However, you need to be up early to grab a space. On a sea day, all seating had been reserved in this area by 8 a.m. If that's too early for you, stay with us as we have a good tip for a quiet place outside later on in this video. Deck 8 and 7 are just cabins. Boring. But if you want cabins on a level where people aren't passing all the time, it might be worth considering. Deck 6 has the coffee port in the middle of the ship. This is the place for your premium hot drinks. They range from about £1.95 upwards if you haven't got the premium drinks package. There is also space here to charge your electrical equipment with long tables to work at if you need to. This is the place that the daily craft sessions were held in. There's also a small library of books and jigsaws here. A tip for this space is that you can sit here in the evenings and it is very quiet, but you can still hear the entertainment from the Atrium and get a good view. We use this area quite a lot. Deck 5, the Squid and Anchor, is the venue for your game shows, quizzes, bingo, karaoke, silent discos and live music. It has a lot of comfortable seating and we always manage to get a seat. Although oddly, the seats at the back seem to fill up first, so if you're a bit late coming to an attraction, you are normally at the front. We never had to wait too long to be served in here. You can go up to the bar or wait for a waiter to come to your table. The Broad Street shops are in the middle of this deck with a small selection of jewellery, watches, perfume, clothes, souvenirs and a few convenience goods. They open when you're at sea and are closed when in port. In the centre of the ship is the reception area, destination services and the photo gallery. There are touch screens for you to book your excursions or view your photos. Destination services is open at various times throughout the day and they were helpful with advice on independent travel. This is another area with a few seats that you can sit in and hear the Atrium entertainment. It is quiet here and a nice place for a drink if you prefer far less crowds. At the rear is Gallery 47. This is one of the main dining rooms included in your fare, serving authentic Italian dishes. We ate in here several times during our stay and never had to queue to get in. You can choose to sit alone or share a table with fellow passengers. Deck 4 is the home of the Broadway show lounge with plenty of seating for everyone. We could get a seat up until the second the show started. Seats at the side had good views but a little less legroom. There were normally 2 shows per evening in here, mainly the theatre company producing a themed show, and once per week there was a guest artist. In the centre of this deck is the live room, which was a venue that had bands and singers playing each night. Again, we got seats in here easily, and this bar was good to come to if the Atrium bar next door was too busy. The Atrium was the busiest venue on our cruise. It's lovely, light and airy, but draws the crowds, and it was difficult to secure a seat in this area. Day or night there was always a crowd of people in here, but if you hung around for a little while you could eventually get a seat. There was a variety of entertainment in here, but mainly singers and dancers. There were regular ballroom dancing shows with resident dancers who were excellent. This was the hardest place to get served. We did have to wait a little longer than anywhere else, but you could always nip to the live room and bring your drinks through. Just round the corner is the casino with a selection of fruit machines and gambling tables. This was also a busy venue, with plenty of people watching eagerly for some big winners. Beyond the Atrium was Restaurant 47, the other main dining room included in your fare. With a daily changing menu offering breakfast, dinner and occasionally lunch, we never had to queue and received good service. Meals were inconsistent, but mainly good. Check out our food review for a detailed summary. This is also the deck with a promenade on it. You can get around most of the ship apart from one section that is sealed off for staff. There are lots of seats and lounges around the promenade that are underused compared to decks 9 and 10. We could get a lounger here at any time of the day and chose to sit here as it was much quieter and we could easily get a drink from the Atrium bar. This is also the section for you to have a smoke or to vape. However, you can sit far enough away that doesn't affect you. So look at this. This is all the awards and presentations that Marella Discovery 2 has won. This one is for junior sequence dancing. This one is for the Dudley District Table Tennis League. And over here is the Knobbly Knees competition at Prestacin just before it closed down. Deck 2 was our home for the cruise. Check out our detailed cabin review for an honest summary of an inside cabin. Deck 1 has a medical centre open twice a day if you need to attend. There are 9 lifts on board and 2 sets of stairs. We never had to wait for a lift and they were all working on our cruise. And of course, one of the best things about sea days and Marella Discovery 2 is Lift Disco.
The red carpet is at the rear, so we're at the back of the ship now, and the blue carpet is at the bow of the ship. Blue B, red rear.
The glass elevators in the Atrium are lovely to ride and get a different view of the stunning space. We were told our cruise was at full capacity, but it never felt overcrowded or uncomfortable. There are enough spaces for peace and quiet or to party through the night.
2, 1, it is time to sail!
In our opinion, this ship has a lovely layout and we would recommend Marella Discovery 2.
So our plan now is to work through the entire cocktail list of all-inclusive cocktails.
So some of the reviews of these cabins said that it was a little bit like the prison cell.
And that was Dressed to Impress night, wasn't it?
Yeah. Did it impress you? We didn't win, did we? We did really badly.
We didn't win the bingo, but we won the flip-flops. Well, I won the flip-flops, they're mine.
So that meal was absolutely delicious. It was the best meal I've had on here.
You probably have to be up early to bag one of these, though. It's about 8 o'clock.
A really good tip for you is that on the main pool deck area,